side are you on? Are you on the side of the American taxpayers who trusted us to regulate this industry that had responsibility for these mortgages? Are you on the side of taxpayers who simply wanted to live the American dream, who simply wanted to get into a mortgage so that they could own a home and do what it is the American dream says we can do and we can accomplish? They trusted us to make sure that our regulators did their job. We all let them down. We allowed these mortgage firms, these loan initiators, these big banks to create these exotic products we had never heard of before. Nobody questioned what was a no-doc loan. Nobody asked, what is this teaser loan? Nobody talked about what happens when these loans reset. And the American taxpayer was confronted with a mortgage with 30, 40 pieces of paper, and they signed on the dotted line because they wanted to live the American dream. Little did they know that they would not be able to meet the reset amount 6 months, 1 year, 2 years from now. And so they got caught up in the scheme. It was a huge fraudulent scheme perpetrated on the American people by major financial institutions. And so Americans didn't decide all of a sudden that they didn't want to pay their bills, that they didn't want to pay their mortgage. Something big happened. And what big happened was this big fraud that was perpetrated on the American people came to reality, and the devil came due, and now it's time to pay, and they couldn't afford it. And added to that, the recession that was caused by the subprime meltdown caused people to be in situations where they lost their jobs, or they were in now jobs that paid less than the jobs that they had when the economy was good. And so now we have people who have lost all these homes. They're foreclosed on, they're boarded up, they're abandoned. And guess what? They're bringing down the neighborhoods. Those people who stay in the neighborhoods and keep up their homes, they're losing value because of these boarded up properties and because of these abandoned properties. So the government said, and I said, and Barney Frank said, those of us who created this program said, we have a responsibility to help the American people, because through no fault of their own, now their homes are underwater. The homes have lost value. And so we have the Neighborhood Stabilization Program. The Neighborhood Stabilization Program does give money to counties and cities and nonprofits and all to go in and rehab these properties, put them back on the markets, upgrade the neighborhoods, reduce the cost to fire and police and all of those city agencies that now got to look after these boarded up properties where the animals are coming in and the weeds are growing up and neighbors are saying, my government, please help me. And so that's what the Neighborhood Stabilization Program is all about. And it creates jobs. It creates jobs because now we've got the contractors, the subcontractors, the painters, the realtors all involved in helping to rehab this neighborhood, helping to stabilize these communities, creating jobs, assisting the American taxpayers who got into these situations through no fault of their own. Whose side are you on? Are you on the side of those who rip off our taxpayers, or are you on the side of the taxpayers who sent you here to look after them and to be responsible?